Start on what day?
7 and 8.
7, 8, and then 10 through 14?
Yeah.
Works for you?
That works.
That was it.
Wait, no,
Yeah, got it. I did it today, so
good deal.
it's going to be nice and quiet.
There will be in a second, yeah.
How do you do it?
We don't think about
Yeah.
Okay, number 7. You are given this cone, and you are asked to find the angle that that cone makes with the outside. How do you do it?
Find the bottom angle of that.
Okay, so by the bottom angle, do you mean this one right here?
Yeah.
Okay, right, because we have a right triangle right here that we can use to find that. What trigonometric ratio would you use to find that? Tangent. So I'm going to say tangent of blue dot equals the opposite side, 16, over the adjacent side, which is 12. And since we're trying to find the angle, what do we always have to do? Right, inverse tangent. So that angle is going to equal the inverse tangent of 16 divided by 12. Does anybody have that for me?
What's the answer?
I was seeing, what'd you get? No, what'd you come up with? 53. Okay, so that angle right there is 53 degrees, but that's not the one we want. The one we want is this angle right here. How do you figure out what that bigger angle is? Keep going. I like it. Got the minus. 180. Nice. I knew you could. All right. So yeah, if I go 180 minus 53, then that tells me that the angle that we're actually looking for is 127 degrees. Well, it's, yeah, because it's a multi-step problem, so they're taking the easy stuff and making it increasingly more difficult because they hate children.
Wow.
Well, I mean, come on, what kind of sadistic person?
In the back of the book, they said they're pro-abortion.
Oh, you always too far. Did you know that?
Yep.
Christian always kind of pushes it a little bit too far.
There's 2 ponds there.
Shame on that. Point that out. Come back on the sucker.
It actually says that. That one's up there.
Drinking glass. True, it's folded up in the front of class, but the trappers.
Or drink glass. Oh yeah, that's the other fishing. Legal one. Yeah, probably kept on going.
All right, number 8. Number 8, also a tricky one because it is a multi-step problem. We are trying to find the value of this angle right here, beta. That's the Greek letter beta. And we're going to do it using this reddish right triangle. The problem is we only know one side of that triangle, the opposite side. In order to use the trig ratio, we need to know 2 sides of that triangle. So can anyone tell me a way that you can find another side of that triangle? Pythagorean theorem on what?
8.
Awesome. If I do the Pythagorean theorem on this triangle down here, that'll tell me what this side is. So if I go 8 squared plus 15 squared, what? It works out to be 17. Sure, let's just cut to the chase. I assume that you guys can do that. Right, that is also a famous Pythagorean triple, 8, 15, 17. Not quite as handy as 3, 4, 5. Pretty much, whatever. What? Well, because I don't really expect you to remember that Pythagorean triple, so just as long as you can get it using the Pythagorean theorem, I'm good with that, right? Okay, so now we know that this side is 17 feet. What trig ratio am I going to use to find beta? Tangent. So I'm going to go the tangent of beta is equal to the opposite side, which is
10.
10, thank you, divided by the adjacent side, which is
17.
17. And just like in the last problem, since we're trying to find the angle, not the side, what do I have to do? I have to do inverse tangent. So beta equals the inverse tangent of 10 divided by 17, which is?
30.
Yep, comes out to be 30 degrees. Okay, so that is also a multi-step problem, putting together something that we've worked on before, namely the Pythagorean theorem, with what we're working on now. It's all related. All right, did you say jump ahead to which one? 10. All right, number 10. According to a Chinese legend from the Han Dynasty, General Han Xin flew a kite over the palace of his enemy to determine the distance between his troops and the palace. It's very clever. So he's got a kite out here, and what he does is he flies the kite until it appears to be over the palace. Okay, here's the palace. I don't know. That looks like a palace.
You look like a palace.
Oh, did not see that coming.
That was funny.
Oh,
That was
okay,
funny.
there's
You
the
were
palace.
So funny.
If the general let out 80 meters of string, or 800 meters of string, it's a lot of string, in case you're curious, and the kite was flying at a 35-degree angle of elevation, because they could very easily measure the angle that
Wouldn't
made.
they notice a kite just flying over there?
Yeah, what are they going to do about it? The dude's got a whole army outside. I mean, what are they gonna do?
Well, they have an arm right there.
send him an email and say, hey, don't fly your kite over my castle.
Like,
Who
can't do that, not
just goes, look, a kite, there must be an army.
Exactly. So then the question is, how far is the army from the palace? Okay? What trig ratio am I going to use to figure that out?
Cosine.
I've heard sine, I've heard cosine. Anyone for tangent? There we go. Okay, we'll just run the table there. Well, which one is correct? This is the angle that we know. This side right here is the adjacent side. This side is the hypotenuse, which, yeah, so that's going to be cosine. So cosine of 35 degrees equals the adjacent side, which is x, over the hypotenuse, which is 800. So x over 800. So how do I figure out what x is? Do I multiply or divide? I multiply. Think of it as a proportion, and you're going to cross multiply like that. So I'm going to go 800 times cosine of 35 degrees. 655. Yeah. So they are about 655 meters from the castle. So you can tell you how, I don't know what angle to launch your arrows or your cannons, catapults, whatever you're using.
Just run.
Destroy the palace. What's that?
Nuclear weapon power, yes, come on, man.
You don't think they had gunpowder then?
Yeah, they did.
Nuke. About 220.
220
Never mind. Never mind.
BCE. I don't know. The Chinese are the ones who invented gunpowder. I don't know when they did it.
They're just
Okay, number 11. Same deal. I don't know what the issue is with kites today, but now we have Benny flying a kite directly over his friend Frank. So this is directly over Frank. And here's Frank. And he knows that his pal Frank is 125 meters away. And here is Benny. When he holds the kite string down to the ground, the string makes a 39-degree angle with the ground. How high is Benny's kite? So what am I going to use this time? Tangent? Because I have adjacent and opposite. So I'm going to go tangent of 39 is 1 over what? Nice. X over 125, because it's the opposite side over the adjacent side.
101.
And you cross multiply those two things, and you find out that, is this true? Yes. This kite is approximately 101 meters in the air.
I got this.
You got this? Okay. All right. Good. Like to hear that. Love to hear that. All right. Number 12. We got another ship and a lighthouse again. This time,
Is this still the SS moment?
say, no.
I
this
see
is
it
not.
saying the SS moment.
Oh.
What?
He said it sank the SS Melvin. Oh my goodness.
I think one number 14 is the SS moment.
What am I going to do this summer?
I get interested, like nothing's going on.
Okay, so there's the picture that they give you. It says the angle of elevation from a ship to the top of a 42-meter lighthouse on the shore measures 33 degrees. How far is the ship from the lighthouse? So we need to figure out this distance right here. So what's that? Yep, so we're going tangent again. So like like I mentioned yesterday, most of the time you're going to use tangent with these because unless you're flying a kite, you don't usually know this distance. You usually know the height or the horizontal distance. So the tangent of 33 degrees equals what over what? Nope. Opposite over adjacent, so it's the other way around. So it's 42 over x, okay? So now, or y, yeah. Now, since our variable is on the bottom, what do I need to do with those two numbers instead of multiplying? Right, I need to divide. So I need to switch places with the y and the tangent of 33 degrees. So y is going to equal 42 divided by the tangent of 33 degrees, which is about 65 meters. All right? Okay?
Number 13 is the SS Melvin.
All right, number 13.
What's the answer?
The answer was about 65 meters. Okay, now we have a ship, a salvage ship.
The wreck is the SS moment.
And this time they're on the surface of the water looking down at some stuff underneath the ocean. And they tell you that the angle of depression, so that's the angle down, is 12 degrees. A diver is lowered 40 meters to the ocean floor. No, it's the SS Melvin. He doesn't have to do the bad work. He owns the ship.
If he wants
He
to.
makes other people do it for him.
Finding Atlantis.
So this is 40 meters down to the bottom. And then that guy is going to walk to the wreckage once he gets down onto the bottom. So the question is, how far is he going to have to walk? So there's a little trick here to this problem. And that is that this 12-degree angle that they gave us is not actually in the triangle yet. You always go to the bottom of the floor and he's in some big scuba suit and then you don't want to. How do you know you can't? I don't know, that's what it says in the book. It says, how far does the diver need to walk along the ocean floor to the wreckage? I don't know. That's not how I would do it. I'd go in here and swim right at it, right? But whatever, I didn't write the book. Yes. Okay, so there's two different ways that we can do it. One is that Janae says that since this is the angle of depression, this makes a right angle. So you can go 90 minus 12 and figure out that this angle up here is 78 degrees, and that gives us an angle in the triangle. What's another way that we can get an angle in the triangle? Well, this is a right angle, but what's this angle right here?
12.
12, right. Because these two, like we talked about yesterday, are alternate interior angles, so they're congruent. So now we have all kinds of options. What do you want to use? Tangent?
78.
Tangent of what?
78.
Okay, tangent of 78 equals the opposite side, which is, what is opposite the 78 degree angle? X over the adjacent side, which is 40. So how do I solve that for X? Well, I could switch them, but then I still have an X with the number. And I want to get rid of the 40 so the X is by itself. Multiply, because this is X divided by 40. So I need to do the opposite, which is multiplied by 40. So it's 40 tangent 78 degrees, which is what? 188. Kids on fire back there.
Wow.
On fire. Okay, then the last one. Once again, we are on a ship, and there is a lighthouse. Off in the distance. And this time we are looking down from the top. Okay? So this is a top view. So here's our ship. And this ship is traveling in this direction. Okay? And the guy on the ship looks at the lighthouse and measures that angle and sees that that angle is 42 degrees. Then the ship travels 100 or 1,800 meters, and at the 1,800 meter mark, the ship passes by, directly by, right angle by the lighthouse. So the question is, how far away from the lighthouse are they as they pass by? In other words, what is that right there? So once again, we're going to use our old friend, tangent. And this time I'm going to write the tangent of 42 equals X over 1,800, opposite over adjacent. What did you say, 0? They crashed into the lighthouse?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. So do I multiply or divide this time?
Multiply.
Good, multiply because the variable is on top. So if I do that, I come up with 1621 meters. Okay? Only Tuesday, man.
I remember
Long
that.
ways to go.